Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. Welcome to a Snap Take Quickie. I am Glazer of Snap Judgments. Today we are going to do 3 quick decks. We've got this Xorn deck that we've got to do a quick update on. We've got a Sauron deck that's absolutely crushing the meta. It's ridiculous. We thought they killed the card, and oops, we were totally wrong. Sauron is still amazing. And finally, a Surfer deck that has won an Infinity Border for you to give a try. Let's start by talking about Xorn, a 2/3, the last card of the new X-Men season. After any 3 or 4 cost card is played here, move it to another location. This card has found 2 homes. It is good in some versions of some sort of Scream style, Silk style decks. If you like those decks, Xorn is probably worth getting. He's not going to go in every one of those, but he goes in a fair number and is a reasonably good card in them. The other place that Xorn goes is the Red Wing deck, so if you own Red Wing, I think Xorn is reasonably close to a must-own card. Given that's the case, I don't think that many people own Red Wing, and I think Xorn is a fairly safe skip as such. This is a good, not great card. This is a fairly replaceable card that you should feel comfortable moving on from unless those 2 decks I described were your 2 favorites. The most successful Xorn deck of the season is this one developed through our friends Thursday and Toxic Soul King. This is a more recent update. Someone, I don't actually know who made this change, went and cut the Giganto and put Craven into the list, and this one ended up the highest win rate version of the list with something like 90 games at a 60% win rate. So this is doing really, really well. It's a very effective list, and if you're looking to get Xorn or want to play a cool Red Wing deck, this is where I would go. You can find Toxic Soul King at twitch.tv/Toxic Soul King, and the originator of this style of list was Thursday Snap on Blue Sky. This deck needs both Madam Web and Red Wing. Those are your non-negotiable cards. That's right, Xorn is not required. Aranya can be Iron Fist. That's a loss, but not the end of the world. If you don't have Red Hulk, you're running Magneto or Giganta. Xorn and Surge can be Cloak or Armor, and Makari can be Wasp. All right, let's go card by card quickly. You have 4 move cards in this list. You have Aranya, Ghost Spider, Madam Web, and Xorn. So you're trying to maximize those move cards. One of the ways you'd like to maximize those move cards is to use Red Wing. What Red Wing allows you to do is it allows you to get Red Hulk or Infinite out for free. The other thing you're trying to really move is Vulture. You should very often be able to get a 16 to 21 power Vulture in this list. Just you play it on Xorn and you go Spider, you play it on Xorn and you Aranya it, and you've done the thing. And now you've got a 16 power Vulture, 17 if Aranya, and then you can, with one more move, if you manage to get a Madam Web or whatever else, you've got an absolutely huge Vulture. Craven was added to give you an extra thing to do with all those moves. If you don't see Vulture, all these move cards can feel wasted. And what Craven ultimately does is if you've got Xorn, and Xorn can just randomly throw 2 cards on Craven, right? You've now got a 2/7. You use Madam Web or Ghost Spider for another, you've got a 2/9, 2/11. And now all of a sudden, this deck starts to really put up extra power with that Craven. Power that's fairly similar in honesty to Giganto without that 6 cost and location limit. All right, so that's our move package here, right? Surge. Surge is probably the most cuttable card here. I played this deck on stream for a little bit, and Sizer was like, why are you not running Armor? You're running a bunch of big stuff. Armor makes so much more sense. That's entirely reasonable. Surge is here. It gives me the chance to usually Red Hulk on turn 5. It leaves me the ability to play a 3-cost Dracula on turn 5 and still drop a move card, which will be important for turn 6. Stuff like that. It's not amazing, and the buff can just go away, or the -1 cost can just go away when Makari is the hit, but other than that, it is still really useful. Makari is here to basically jump out of your hand to be 3 power. It makes you more likely to hit your key cards. Dracula is one of your 2 ways to use Infinite with Red Wing, because 20 power is a lot. It's lane in game winning, and Red Hulk just gets really, really big in the list, and at the end of the game, fairly often, you can just cold drop that Red Hulk and move on with your life, right? Sometimes you're not going to see a lot of your combos, and then on either turn 5 with Surge or turn 6, you just go, okay, here's a 6/16, good luck. So that's the general purpose of the list. This one has a 60% win rate in high infinite. Turn 1, you want Aranya. Turn 2, Madam Web if you have Vulture over Surge over Xorn. Turn 3, Vulture if move. Red Wing to set up move, or if you have like really good odds of hitting one of your 2 6s. Turn 4, Dracula or 3+ Ghost Spider. Turn 5, we're looking at Xorn and Red Wing, or we can drop cards on Web. Sometimes we're going to play a 6-cost card for 5 here. Especially if Titan happens. Sometimes Surge, this happened to me, hits Infinite. Feel free to skip turn 3 and just play a 4-cost Infinite. Enjoy yourself. And then turn 6 is either you drop a 6 or you move Red Wing and empty your hand for Dracula. Awesome list. If you're looking for Xorn, this is the type of list you're looking at. Let's move on to ask you to hit that sub button if you're willing to. If you want the most Marvel Snap decks of anyone, please hit that sub as we bring you an absolute crazy amount of Marvel Snap content. This is our second video today. Tomorrow we will have 2 videos. Tuesday, I haven't decided, but we might also do 2 videos. Thursday is going to be 2 videos. If you want more Marvel Snap content with more top decks, the best decks from the best players, sub here. In addition, we're giving away 5 copies of Merlin this week. Every video we post, or at least one video a day that we post, will have a Merlin giveaway in it. All you have to do is sub, like, and comment. I'll tell you what specific comment to leave on each specific video. Sauron time. So Sauron was changed, and I thought he was great, and I misread him. I thought he was a 1/3 with the same ability. It turns out, since the OTA, what Sauron's changes, outside of being a 1/3, is he only affects cards in deck. That did not kill his list. Everyone thought that would kill his list, including me, once it was read properly, but it turns out that it just altered the list. It cut out cards like Lizard, and it cut out Ebony Maw, but the deck is still at the top of the meta. This is one of the best performing decks at High Infinite in one of the largest sample sizes. So this is a deck you're going to want to know right now. This is a deck that you need to play. A lot of those games were from Zenade, who you can find at twitch.tv/Zenade. He doesn't stream often, but he is the only Sauron level 30 mastery player I know. This deck needs Starbrand, Scar, and Surge. Those 3 are absolutely required as far as high series stuff. We'll talk about why when we go card by card. Cull or Ares can be Crossbones, but you do need one of the 2. That's basically all the 4/10s in the game. And Surtur can be Juggernaut. I remain unconvinced that Surtur is any good here. It is still my least favorite card in the list. So Zabu and Surge have the same purpose in this list. You've got Ares, you've got Cull Obsidian, Typhoid Mary, and to a lesser extent Enchantress. I guess to a later extent, but later in the game. You've got Enchantress, and making any of those cards 3 cost, being able to play them early, being able to play them on turn 5 with a 2-drop, being able to combo them with other cards is an extremely powerful thing to do, and thus Zabu and Surge are in the deck. Sauron makes Starbrand. Sauron doesn't hit a million things here, right? It hits 3. It hits Starbrand, Typhoid Mary, and Red Skull. There's just enough upside in those 3 that you're totally fine running Sauron, and if you happen to draw them before Sauron, you're a little sad, but it's not the end of the world. So those cards can also be turned off by Zero and Enchantress, which gives you the extra ability. That means Sauron's no longer being quite as useful is not the downside it immediately appeared to be. Also, with Sauron a 1 and 0/1 and Zabu in the list, Cull Obsidian all of a sudden makes sense back in this list as we're running enough 1-drops to make it valid and worthwhile. Surge we've discussed. Surtur is usually something like a 311 to 313, which is huge, but he's hard to fit into curve because you do want to be dropping 10s at every opportunity. So if you can go Zabu or Surge, you'll usually play a 410 or Ares, 412, over Surtur. You'll usually, if you got Sauron or Zero and have the opportunity, play those over Surtur. So Surtur doesn't often get as big as he can, but he's still a very powerful card. This deck is absolutely huge. Even your 1s, most of your 1s are 1/3s. The only below average cards in the list at all are Zabu and Surge. Everything else is at least ahead of rate for its power. 412 is great. That's Magneto power on a 4-cost body. Enchantress is here. Cerebro is all over the meta. We're going to do a Cerebro video tomorrow, so get ready for that. But Cerebro is all over the frickin' meta. Turning off Typhoid Mary, turning off Red Skull, and turning off Starbrand is extremely important. Generally speaking, you'd like to try and hit one of them with Zero or one of them with Sauron, but being able to close off that other lane is still super powerful. Cull Obsidian, 410. Typhoid Mary, 410, turn off negative ability. Red Skull, 514, turn off negative ability. And then if you go something like, even if you just play a 410 on 4, a 410 on 5, you're going to have a 312 to play on 6, which is part of the reason that Enchantress ends up so powerful with Zabu and Surge, because if you can get that to 3, now you can play the 312. If you manage to play an extra 10 through whatever means, through a location coming up, now you've got a 112, and you can really go to town. So this list is, again, not a small sample, 264 and 164, a 62% win rate at High Infinite. That is among the top in the game, in among the biggest samples. Play this list if you're looking to win games of Marvel Snap right now. Turn 1 we go Zabu or Sauron, depending on the hand. Turn 2, Surge or a 1. Turn 3, Surtur, Starbrand, or a 4. Turn 4 is the same as 3. You 0 as needed anywhere in here. You can even 0 on 1 if you know you're going to go Starbrand on 3. Sorry, 0 on 2 if you know you're going to Starbrand on 3. Turn 5, Red Skull or 4+1. And then turn 6 is generally Scar and Enchantress. Sometimes Scar and just another decent big card as well makes sense. Put out the points until Shang comes back in the meta in a big way. Right now, everyone's running Enchantress because Cerebro is running amok. Cerebro is actually the highest win rate deck. We'll talk more about that tomorrow once more. But because Cerebro is running amok, you can feed on Cerebro and feed on an absolute ton of decks with this absolute beast of the meta. Play it, win with it, love it. Please come check out a stream. I should be streaming tomorrow at some point at twitch.tv/pulseglazer. Just swing by, stop by, say hello. In addition, if you'd like to enter to win the season pass, what you answer is, what card did you think would be bad, new or nerfed, but ended up great? Sauron is one obvious example for me. I thought it would be bad, and it's still absolutely great, and now I'm worried about it when Nightmare comes out. Meanwhile, in addition to Sauron, I thought the original Loki was going to suck, and that card was amazing. I thought Bullseye was going to suck. There are quite a few. No, but nobody's perfect in this game. I don't know a single great player who nails every card. What's one you got wrong in looking at? We're going to finish up today's video with, I believe my friend O'Behave should be live as I'm posting this. O'Behave has been rushing with this on ladder, and he's won a couple infinity borders with it. This is a really, really simple and straightforward surfer. So if you're looking for an easy surfer to play that can put up a ton of points and win you some games, this is where I would go. You can find O'Behaved at twitch.tv/O'Behaved. I know that's shocking. This deck needs Surge, Galacta, Luna, or Captain Carter, and Captain Carter. Sam can be Jennifer Kale in a day when that comes out as a Series 4 card. Iron Patriot or Forge. Jennifer Kale is an activate to give you an extra energy. I would also like to note it could be Zabu, now that I've thought about it more and played it a little bit. Gwenpool can be Absorb Man. It gives you an extra power 4 that can copy your Brood or your Surfer late in the game. Shaw can be Juggernaut, Sage, or Negasonic. Okay, so Sam Wilson is here because a 2/6 is still good stats. It's not amazing, it's not must-have, but it's good stats. What it really does, though, is it helps you set up your Captain Carter lane very effectively. That shield that has no power, a lot of times your Captain Carter lane is going to be your Cosmo lane. You're going to reasonably often chuck your shield behind that and play another card there, whatever that card may be. And then that's your way to get that extra power in that lane. And if you didn't Cosmo, you can use Luna and her Snowball in the back row as well. But Sam is good for that, but he's no longer nearly as important as he was when he was also a huge priority piece. Surge is incredible here. So the +1 Surge gives is +3 on Brood, Carter, or Shaw. That's amazing. That's amazingly useful. You'd also love to get Sarah out on turn 4, Galacta out on turn 3, or Gwenpool out on turn 3. Surge allows you all of these opportunities, thus incredible. Surge can be a bad hit if it hits Surfer or Rogue without a target, but outside of that, it's fundamentally always useful. A lot of times, if you don't see Galacta and Gwenpool, even having a 1/3 Carter will be, 1/3 Captain America Sam Wilson will be useful with a Surge hit on turn 4. Brood, Carter, and Shaw are your 3 power cards. You want to hit them with Galacta, Gwenpool, and Surfer, and to a lesser extent Surge, because you can't control the Surge hits. And then they each amplify their boost by times. Brood and Carter amplify by turns 3, assuming you can fill the Carter lane, and Shaw adds 2 to each one of those buffs. So they're just big power cards. They're how you win lanes. Nice and simple. You would generally prefer not to play them before your Galacta and Gwenpool come out, but if you must, you must. Rogue is here because Cerebro is everywhere fundamentally. Just take their Cerebro, win the game is basically the argument here. Meanwhile, Surfer is your big board-wide buff. Cosmo gives you a little bit of protection. If people storm and you think they might be Storm War Machine Legioning, drop that Cosmo in the Storm lane. You basically auto turn off they can't now Legion there, and you've turned off their whole combo, and you put up way more points. It's also just a solid play to protect your stuff. There's a lot of Enchantress around right now. Being able to protect Carter is important. Being able to protect your stuff as it gets big is really good. Sebastian Shaw, second power card. Luna is hugely important here. So what Luna wants to do is get out your Sarah on turn 4, but the other use Luna has, if you go Luna into Galacta or Gwenpool, you might feel like it's useless, but then you can go 3/3 on 5 and then 3/3 on 6, and that's incredibly powerful. Luna gets you out extra cards no matter what, whether it be through playing Sarah early or whether it be through her Snowball giving you extra access. And then, of course, we have Galacta and Gwenpool as our 2 big buffs. Gwenpool is luck-based, at least to an extent. Galacta you can control better, though sometimes locations don't like her as much as they like Gwenpool, and Gwenpool has 1 more power. And Sarah at 5/5 that makes your deck go completely insane. Mobius has fundamentally disappeared, at least for my part of the meta. So, multiple infinity borders, play this deck. Turn 1 pass, turn 2 Surge over Sam, turn 2 4. If you can play Galacta or Gwenpool, you're probably snapping. Over Luna, and if you can play Luna, you're probably snapping. Over Cosmo, and then you play Carter or Shaw on this turn if you must. Turn 4 is Sarah over Galacta over Gwenpool over 3/2. Sarah and Galacta are still very often snap conditions on 4. Gwenpool might be, but she is depending on what she hits. Turn 5, Sarah or 3, and then we've got Shaw, Brood, Carter, Rogue times 2 with Surge or Luna. ideally Surge or Lunar, giving the opportunity to play 2 3s on turn 5 if you're not Sauron. Then turn 6, we play one of the 3s from last turn and Surfer, and we win. Give Obi a shout. Check him out. He should be live on Twitch right now playing a deck like this. If you ask him to play this, I'm sure he will. It's absolutely great. Turn 2, support on our Patron come with honor. Thanks. I'm going to go relatively quickly because this video is supposed to be quick and it's already longer than I was aiming for. In addition, this is a brand new mic. I seem to have broken my mic yesterday. Let me know how my sound quality is if you're a regular viewer, if you think this sounds good, if you think I need to do some tweaks or there's anything wrong. Thank you. Our patron of the month is Bricks2Click. Thank you to Abigail, Hughes, Manager, Bruno, Erigolis, LEB, Inc., I'm Frostman, Hota, Neverday, Think Poker, Prime Brian, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood, Snap, Renwrench, Caretix League, Corey, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, Black Dahlia, Profrost, The Goat Seeker, Code, Hollow, Only Fox, Synth, Fanatic, Absolute Chen, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Revival, Cables, Ginger Prime, Bill Brackman, Hablo, Kenny Loggers of the Danger, The Bezza, Black Sheep is 23, Extra Scene, Skippy G, Jessica Gamble, Mr. Slush, The Kinger Bros, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kepsioto, Ludacris, Clam, Colonel Foreman, Rob Silverman, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Coffin, Tristan H. Ryan, Jason B, Mr. Christ, Matt V, Corey, John Q, Corwin, John Q, Jim McHugh, Yistout, Ace H, One Big Man, Milkman for Reals, Cactus Jack, Reapster, BG, Quit, Yo, Marco, Quid Pro Joe, Snapter Scissors Joe, Dick Carlo, 220, Models, Monster Pickety Boom Bot, Green, Goblin Unibot, 556, The Fuzz Up, Spectrum X, Hoot, Ocularis, Maddie, DJ Mike Hutchings, No Freaking Flex, Nick the Greek Geek, Toxic Soul Kings, Zeltrek 74, Thinking Canada, JJ, Denman, Falcon, Falthor Newman, Jonesy, Two Ties, the Triple, Jonesy of the Triple Threat, Two Ties, the Great Lawrence, the Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T, where the C stands for. I gotta get used to doing that fast again. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget 2 videos tomorrow, and I'll see you for that. Much love. Peace.